This time, we try out a long ways battle report. The armies are matched at around 300 points. And the battlefield contains a village in the centre, and forest on the British left and a hill on the French left. Today the British have a regiment of Lancer allied in. French turn 1. Led by their skirmishing light infantry, the French forces advance, with the cavalry cribbing to the right of the village, with the Lanciers leading the way.
Compagnie! Avec moi!
British turn 1. The British forces edge forward, letting the Prussian cavalry lead the way, somewhat ruining their lack of artillery. French turn 2. Anticipating a cavalry duel, the French infantry on the right make room for their cavalry and tighten up their formation. On the French left they decide to keep to the higher ground, whilst a middle guard battalion occupy the village. British turn 2. Some light British fire fails to disturb the French. However, the main focus of the turn is the British Lancers clashing with the French Lanciers. After seeing off their French counterparts, the Lancers charged into the French heavy cavalry and were easily sent packing. French turn 3. As the French light forces open fire, the cuirassiers charge home into the Enniskilling Dragoons. However, the Enniskillings prove their mettle, destroying the French and overrunning into the side of a nearby attack column to devastating effect. Fearing the collapse of his flank, the French commander hastily reforms his forces, putting his infantry in a square and sending the light skirmishers away from the cavalry, opening up a fire lane for his cannons. British turn 3. The Enniskillings attempt to engage the square, hoping to get away from the cannon, as the British rifles engage the French light troops in melee. On the hill, the light horse charged the skirmish line. In the skirmisher melee, both sides refuse to yield. The British heavy cavalry bounce off the square and find themselves dangerously isolated. On the slope, the French skirmishers are easily run off, but the British horse, with a rush of bloodlust, charge the nearest French attack column and are easily seen off. French turn 4. All along the battlefront smoke rises from the prodigious French fire, heavily mauling the heavy British cavalry. Following up from that devastation, a French attack column charges point blank down the slope into heavy dragoons as chasseurs move to support their flank. Only to find out that the fear of heavy cavalry is not misplaced. The exultant British cavalry chase the fleeing French troops directly into the chasseurs. British turn 4. The Inniskilling charge home against the cannon, as the British riflemen fall back, allowing the line battalions to engage the light French detachment. On the hill, the chasseurs folded almost as quickly as the Inniskillings did to point-blank cannon fire. And we can see that the middle guard are beginning to take casualties. French turn 5. On the French right flank, they begin to pour musket fire into the advancing British, hoping that control of the village will prove to be the determining factor of the day. On the hill, a French attack column charges into the flank of the victorious heavy cavalry and drives them from the battlefield. British turn 5. On the British right flank, the massive amounts of musket fire they can produce seize off the jubilant French attack column. Whilst near the forest, they shuffle their battalions, setting up fresh troops to face the French. French turn 6. As the middle guard leave the village, and an attack column advances on the forest, hoping to secure key objective points. A small detachment of chasseurs assist the last attack column on the left as they assault the British line. Unfortunately, they prove to be cowards, and as we look upon the French commanding officer, we can see the negative VPs. British turn 6. The British musketry is too much for the small chasseur regiment, but fails to do disruptive damage to the middle guard. Near the forest, the lines are tightened up, preparing for the French attack. French turn 7. The middle guard makes an assault on a key objective, as the last of the standard attack columns charges the Highlanders. The middle guard do serious damage, but fail to rout the British, whilst the Highlanders easily rout their foe. The end. Whilst the middle guard annihilate the defending British battalion, they are all alone on an increasingly silent battlefield, and it is not long till the field belongs entirely to the British.